Hello guys, this is Old Reliable, and today I'm bringing you two new customs based on the Thomas Mini's customs, of course. Last time we did it with the Mark V. This time I'm going to do very special characters again. So first we have Novelty, and we have Sans Pareil or Pareil, I don't know, and the Tender, of course. So, if these two characters are new for you, it may be not that big of a surprise. These two characters only appeared in a couple of scenes of the King of the Railway film, and they were later mentioned in Engine of the Future, where Hugo appeared. Just a sec, I'm going to search a picture for you so you know who we are talking about. So here you have them. These are the two engines who raced against Stephen, the rocket, on the Rainhill trials in 1829, and this is actually a real event. It's just been Thomas and Friends-ified. Yes, this is Novelty on the Thomas Wiki. You can search it on Stephen's competitors. Yeah, this is from the side view. And we have Sensperio, which is the other one, which is the tender engine, which is this one right over there. Let's start with Novelty. He's the one who is the tank engine. And here's the side view. It is a very, very small model. You can see how the Mini's chassis is on there. Right over here. Just a sec. So here he is. Yes. Um, there is the base I used for it. The front is going to be sound a bit creepy, but that's actually the half of a smoke box of a Mini's Percy, and the other half is right over there, part of the mechanical area. Uh, this is a match cut in half, and this is the other part of a match to represent the very interesting shape of the funnel, and that's another small part of the match, so this piece doesn't stick to this. Uh, the coal bunker is made from a Lego 1x3 brick. This is the inside of the brick, like this is where the studs used to be, and the inside is made out of the a cut up cork, a cork which you find like in a wine bottle and painted in black so it resembles coal. And the whole like boiler area, I think if you can call that, that's also made from a cork, like really cut it up to resemble like a rectangular uh, like a cube shape. Focus, where are you? Yeah, and there's the face. The face is just the hard cardboard I use for Mark V's whole body and face. The face is a square rectangular one. It has like a little mean, like somewhat of a determined face, like wants to win the race. But it has a monocle, and yes, I can verify. I'm sure I didn't see a monocle in Thomas and Friends King of the Railway, but there was someone who made like a fan art or like a art in like a paint, and it did had a monocle, so I thought why not, it would make very unique character, because if Novelty had a monocle in the Thomas and Friends, he would be the only character in the Thomas and Friends universe to have a monocle. And there's one more element to this model, which is a 1x1 Lego tile with the detail. I don't know what that resembles. Maybe the bucket, which can be seen on the running board of Novelty. And also the top, this bigger rectangular tube shape, is also part of the same cork I used everything else for. But the very top is actually one of the studs from that 1x3 bricks. Yes. And that's it really. Also the other is that this blue piece is a new running board, so I can add this, which is like represents the bottom of the boiler, which is on the real thing. So yeah, I made that. It was a very interesting idea. Yeah, and this is actually for like really big train enthusiasts. Um, When this was first built for the Rainhill Triers, technically this is the world's first tank engine because yeah, it doesn't have a separate tender, so it has a bunker, and this was the very first tank engine in life because before it, all the engines were like smaller tender engines. Think about like the rocket and all sorts of other ones like the Puffing Billy and all sorts of trains and engines from the 1810s and the 1820s, and these from the end of the 1820s. And now let's get on to our other very, very, very special character. This is Sans Pareil. So yes, here is Sans Pareil. Let's take a look at him. Here it is. It's a tender engine, of course. This was the other one. I will detach the tender so we can take a look at the engine separately. It is ridiculously fragile, like one little blow and it like falls apart. The way I made this is I needed a chassis from a Mini which has yellow wheels, and I used a black Adam Edward for this. The whole running board was cut it up so it doesn't have like the lip, so the boiler can be the most widest and not the running board area. And it was cut in half because it had an error where both ends of the running board would not connect properly, so I made them like this. You can see like there's the no like the buffer area which these have. Like look at the tender, what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is how it should be. I don't think I have to mention the fact that I cut off the couplings from Novelty. Of course, that's also a thing. And here the wheels, sadly only the rear wheels turn sadly, because when I glued these on for separately, because these don't connect in anymore by themselves like a one piece running board should, because now they are in two pieces, nothing holds them in place, so I had to glue them on, and I think a couple drips of glue gun in here and they hold the wheel super tight. There's barely any movement in there. Now this, once again, it's made from a cork. Yeah, I'm a cork guy. I use cork on both of the models. This is just a piece of paper because it's easier to paint than the edge of the cork. These are two 1x1 round bricks, Legos, and these are, I don't even know what these are. I think these are parts of those wooden sticks that you use on art class, you know. I definitely, I'm very sure you know what I'm talking about. The face, again, the same hard paper material, and the idea for the face was totally fictional because the I'm keeping on the train, extremely sorry. The engine, Sans Pareil, in The King of the Rally, didn't have a mustache. You can clearly see that in even the movie, even though you only see these characters from the left side. But I again thought like you need to make this engine like unique so it doesn't look anything similar to other characters. And the only character I think in a Thomas universe who has a, facial hair which is like not normal, like white like elderly people, is Iron Duke, the only broad gauge character in the Thomas and Friends universe. So this has to be unique. These are very old special engines. And the funnel is just normal paper, two different rolls. There's one roll glued in there and another roll glued in rail. And I think in Thomas and Friends the funnel was in the middle, but the real Sense Barrel actually had the funnel on the right, because I think this is where you put the coal in to the boiler, and this is where you put the funnel. That's why there's two black spots painted in there. There's one and there's the other one. And there is also this very tiny piece of paper painted black, so there's like a little running board, so make that tiny little yellow running board element slightly bit bigger. And the other is that, you know, the part of the running board on minis actually has a big hole in there to hold the that metal piece that used to be in the minis, so I had to cover it up anyway. So yeah, that's Sans Pareil. That's that. And let's take a look at the tender, which surprisingly I'm much more proud of. But yeah, nonetheless, these are not that bad, I think. So yeah, I will put you there. The tender, again, made from a normal minis model. This is a I think this is made from a creature Stanley. Like, what the hell are you supposed to do with a creature Stanley? So yeah, you can see in there the wheels used to be white because I didn't have any other chassis which have yellow wheels. So I painted them, and I also give them like a black trim. And the other element is that you can see I actually sawed off a part of the wheels. You can see theirs are much smaller than normal Minis wheels are, which have like those bolts coming out, similar to like Lego studs. Those can be cut off. Those were being cut off, so they look a bit different. Now there's also a running board added onto this one as well, a smaller one, which like totally matches up, so it doesn't even noticeable that much. And then the again very useful paper has been added here, um, to make the model walls, and the front one is a bit more in, so there's like a little step there. You can see there's like a little step, and it's much more shorter, so like the shovels can go through there and get out the coal. The coal is not real coal. I much prefer real coal, but I didn't have it. I had like the which I use for like terrains. I will use it in the next video. Like little gravel, which I found like in playgrounds or parks, and I just throw in a couple, glued it in, make a little pile, and then paint the whole thing black. And this element here, which there, it's completely painted black, because these are elements from Java. I don't know if anyone knows what Java is. It's sort of a building block or toy where you put like tubes into another. Yeah, it's an interesting building toy. It's a very good one. I have to uh, make that sure. Like, I have to admit, it's a really nice toy, but it's not really like popular. I doubt many people know what it is. And it had like elements which look like this, so I glued three together, and it sort of perfectly fits into the tender. And I also added lining, so yeah, it looks like this. It's not perfect, but I had to give lining because bland it looks awful. And the other is that I just know from the wiki that in Thomas and Friends Kingdom of the Railway, Sam Sparrow's tender is actually a 7-plank wagon used for troublesome trucks, but scaled down and added elements to make it look like a tender, which is quite interesting. And the other is that in the front, I give it like two little lines. I don't know what they're supposed to represent. And also a couple of drips of like coal dust. Because maybe when the fireman like comes here with the shovel and gets a couple out, coal dust maybe like flews in there, and it just makes the area of this tender a bit dirty. I thought it's like a little nice detail. Yeah, this rolls better. This doesn't need it gluing elements of the model, so the wheel stopped working forever. This is a much nicer roller, like Novelty itself. But sadly, Sandsparrow's main engine sadly doesn't work that good. Yes, but we have them. And oh wait, the other thing, you may not know like what these supposed to resemble. These are actually part of the piston, so there's like a piston which like goes this. Yeah, Steven has these, but like a different angle. And yeah, I know it looks horrible because now it looks like the engine has ears. Yeah. I may redone it one day so it doesn't look like it, but this is how it will stay for now. We will may change it up in like the future. Who knows? Well, I think this is going to be it for this review of the two newest characters in my customs collection. These were Novelty and Pareil added to the diecast range of my characters, because to me these classify to be in the diecast because they're too big to be minis anymore, and they are much more scale in now to be part of the diecast. Because if you take a look at like a Salty, like even though they are very small, they weren't big engines to start with, but they are much better in this scale to me, and I classify them as like diecast models, but let's just say in like same size or similar size to diecast characters. So these were Novelty and Sanspario from the King of the Railway film. I was Old Reliable, and signing out. Peace. Bye.